Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for the sign of Sagittarius for February 2020. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Ascendant, Stellium, whichever is focused in your natal chart. First of all, we'll be linking with Spirit to find out what insight messages they have for you guys, and then we'll be looking into the tarot to get a bit more information as to sort of what you can expect for February, and then oracle cards for outcomes. So first of all, they really are, because this is the thing with obviously us being in kind of well, we've just entered out of Capricorn now, haven't we? We're in Aquarius. This is going to be in your kind of 11th house, so it's like fun, friendships, and to be honest with you, I got a really kind of strong influence of being sociable, even if you might not feel like it, but there's this really strong emphasis on trying to have some fun here, really trying to keep things light, because I feel like you're going to need it. I don't know why, but I've just heard the onus is going to be on family. So if you're maybe you're not, so you're sat there thinking, well, I don't want to have fun, I just want to sit at home and keep to myself, that's fine, but maybe family is the onus. But there's definitely something around being sociable, having fun with family or friends, okay? It's like they're talking about it uplifting your spirit. So if you're sat there thinking, you know, I feel, hang on one sec, I need to reground myself here. Give me 2 secs. Well, that was interesting. Yeah, make sure you're grounded this month. I'll be honest with you, I felt like I was not in my body a minute ago. Like I'd just been kind of observing myself. It was weird. Make sure you're grounded. It's like, now obviously if you don't know how to do that, make sure you're kind of visualizing yourself, a root coming from, you know, your root chakra or your base of your spine into the earth, or through your feet, out the bottom of your feet and into the earth. So it's rooted, it's anchored, it's earthed, let's say. There was something, it was like I couldn't get a handle on my physicality. I don't know. Maybe you've really tried to, maybe you've really been struggling and you just wanted a break. And so they're offering some fun as a means to do that, but also be focusing on your grounding. So even if you're walking's brilliant for grounding. Like I walk around my house barefoot usually, so I can really ground in. Yeah, it was like I was viewing myself. I just wasn't tethered in my body a minute ago. That's why I had to reground myself. Yeah, my ears are now popping as well. It's like I've got altitude. I've got some kind of issue with my altitude at the moment. One sec. Let me just reground again. I feel like because I'm reading the energy, I usually absorb the energy. So just give me a sec to recalibrate myself. Yeah, you guys are going to have to really try and focus on this grounding, because I'll be honest with you, every time I'm sitting in this energy, I feel like I'm a balloon that's been released. That's the easiest way to describe what I'm actually currently in right now. Now obviously, yeah, you can sit and say, well, is it going to be that extreme? Well, probably not, because obviously I'm tuning into the collective of Sagittarians, which means the energy is going to be, for one person, probably quite tense. So I'm not saying you're going to experience the exact level of this. But if you've got Sagittarius very heavily focused in your chart, like I'm a Sagittarius ascendant. So to be honest with you, that's actually, like, now I've just witnessed this. This is gonna really help me, because I'll be honest with you, I'm definitely not great at grounding myself usually. So especially if you've got more air, if you've got a lot of air in your chart or water, then this is going to be useful. Now my midhaven is Libra, so like, you know what I mean, and even though I'm an earth sign, you know, so definitely keep an eye out for that one, because I feel like that's really just helped me for this month, because I would not have picked up on that otherwise. Look, even now I feel like I'm down. Watch out for your dreams as well, because I feel like you're going to get into bed and wake up and think, have I just woken up in a different realm? It's like you're downloading through your sleep, but you're really connected. Let me just have a look what's going on in the galactic center, to be honest with you, because this is really, one sec. Right, well that makes total sense, because Mars is conjunct the galactic center. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're what you're actually aware of the galactic center, but the galactic center is the kind of pulse of the universe. It essentially creates pretty much anything you can expect in the universe. It's like a manifestation of whatever's thought is being put out there into reality. Now, the galactic center essentially is like the birthplace of everything, right? Now, at the moment, as I'm recording, we're just now conjunct Mars with the galactic center, and the reason I know that is because my Neptune is dead on the galactic center. So, which is why I'm like, oh, what the heck is going on? So Mars is essentially our planet of action. You guys need to be really aware of what you're channeling this month. Write everything down. Absolutely write everything down, because you're going to have the most profound insights into what actions you should be taking, right? Now, okay, maybe it's because I've got Neptune conjunct my galactic center, which is why my insight, my intuition is ridiculous right now with certain things, because I was seeing part of that in my meditation earlier, and I was thinking, what is going on here? Now it makes sense, okay? Because like I said, it's so where my Neptune is where Mars is currently transiting, all right? So where Neptune is in my chart is where the galactic center is, and where Mars is conjunct sort of that transit-wise. So pay attention for this month to shed light on where you've been, so what you've gone through and why you've gone through it, and where you're going. Because I feel like this is like someone's may as well have put like a pin in the map to go, this anchor point here is where you're going to really see everything. Because the fact that you guys, or certainly me, felt like I wasn't tethered to anything, and I was just observing everything going on around me, and it was bizarre because I could see ridiculous sort of types of information, but I wasn't anchored, which means it wasn't grounded, all right? So if you're writing this stuff down, just make sure that you're grounded first, or let's say you're meditating, make sure you're grounded first, because otherwise we want to make sure it's accurate rather than sort of, my God, rather than, well, they said delusional, because they know my imagination. I'm not delusional, but I suppose it's like a personal joke with my guys, because they know what my imagination's like, and my imagination is a bit ridiculous. So it's like I've got to tell you this story now. I've got to tell you this story. So I have to tell you this story. You can click past this if you don't care about what I'm about to say, but I have to tell you this. So this guy asked me. I just spat everywhere. This guy asked me what my ideal date is. And I'm not even gonna lie, I went for gold. I was like, yeah, helicopter ride. And his response was, okay, like, so does that mean you're expecting me to take you on a helicopter? And literally, as I was saying it, I was cringing, but I was like, no, I'm gonna just be really honest. I'm just gonna be really honest and be real and just say what I think. So I did, and yeah, just absolutely brilliant. And I even said to him after, I went, listen, I said, you shouldn't be asking me questions like that. I said, my imagination's brilliant. Like, you're gonna regret it, you know? Anyway, I didn't go on a date with him in the end. Long story. But that just popped in my head, which is, I think that's why they said it to me, because they know, you know? Right, let's get on with the tarot. I had to tell you that story because it popped in my head, because that's when my guide was saying that. Sagittarius, what's going on, please? What's going on for Saggies? Hilarious. Other way. Okay, Four of Wands. Four of Wands. Your home. I want to say your home. Something about you being home. You understanding what home is. You understanding you. You understanding your heart. You understanding the core of you. And you being acknowledged for it. Three of Pentacles. contract with yourself, acknowledging the connection to you and all things. It's like I feel like you're in alignment. I feel like this is you in alignment with yourself, you know. It's like I mean, look, the guy's got this beam coming from his head, you know, and he's ready to receive it. There's definitely, look, I feel like you're going to be getting downloads all over the place this month. Just don't do the whole, you'll have a helicopter ride, please. Hilarious. Well, you could do, you don't have to, you know. Four of Swords, rest and rejuvenate. Okay, so again, taking stock. Where have you been? Why were you there? Understanding the self, okay? Where are you wanting to move forward to? I'm hearing the highest honours. It's like someone's acknowledging you here, either for your work, but basically for what you've provided. Someone's acknowledging people. Someone's acknowledging someone here for their work they've provided. Now, it could be your partner. It could be a boss, a friend, a loved one. But it's like you've held it down for someone here and you're being acknowledged for that. You were the consistent art. You were something consistent to somebody, and it's like you're being rewarded for it. Yeah, look, you've got two very practical earthbound cards here. A man sat amongst the woods, which is very much about grounding, and then the practical home in this physical reality. In amongst that, you've got a man receiving something energetically, or literally or physically, for their success of what they've been doing, what they've been going through. Now, base of the deck, we've got the base chakra card. This is about security. So there's definitely a reevaluation for what makes you secure. Is it your knowledge? Is it what you're given in the physical? Is it, you know, monetary value, or is it something a bit more or less tangible? But there is definitely reward of some kind. Now, Three of Pentacles is usually the tangible reward, but I feel like this is going to be based on what you're most needing. There's a reevaluation or a re-emphasis on that, but everyone's going to be different. There's a real mixed bag here. To be honest with you, I kind of love this energy. I kind of love this energy because it's my ascendant, you know. But I just keep hearing you're going home. You're going home. Now, if you're a starseed, possibly you're going to resonate with that, all right? And you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I feel total relief. Brilliant. And if you're not a starseed and you still resonate with that, look up starseed. I'll start having a look into that. It's about where you connect, where your heart lies, and the people that you're, like everything in this physical reality, I feel like you're going to start questioning. Because don't forget, the beginning part of this reading, it was like I was being tethered up and I couldn't see what was going on. Well, at eye level, because I was floating up. I was like a little balloon that was floating up. So you're going to see things from someone just messaged me and I didn't understand what it meant. Yeah, it's like you're going to be observing almost things from a higher perspective, and there's going to be a total reevaluation. Sorry. One sec. So I'm so distracted. Okay, I've got to read this because someone just sent me this quote and I'm like, okay, that's weird. It's kind of weirdly in line with what we're talking about. It says, as you are shifting, you will begin to realise that you are not the same person you used to be. The things you used to tolerate have become intolerable. When you once remained quiet, you are now speaking your truth. Where you once battled and argued, you are now choosing to remain silent. You are beginning to understand the value of your voice, and there are some situations that no longer deserve your time, energy, and focus. So, yes, I feel like this is going to be one of those situations where, because you're observing things from a different perspective, where you're kind of, rather than being tethered down, I mean, yes, it's good to ground, and that's definitely recommended, but while you're kind of heightened energy with this Mars alignment with you, the galactic center, especially because it's in Sagittarius. I feel like you guys are going to be really on point with your truth and you. And it's like they're asking you to pay attention for what comes up at this time, because, and if people are hitting against that or challenging it, it doesn't mean to say you're wrong. It means to say that you're coming more into your alignment and to trust it. It's like, you know where your true north is. It's like you're totally in understanding now of where you need to be, and you're not apologetic for it. You're just like, no, I'm here. All right. So just make sure that, again, you're grounding yourself in order to really take advantage of that, because I feel like that's going to be needed. Good job I checked that. Usually I don't. 3 of Cups. So there's a celebration here. Okay. Now this could also be friendship groups. Okay. But it's usually celebration. So if you fought very hard for something, maybe you were fighting for your voice, maybe you were fighting to be heard, maybe you were fighting to be understood, maybe you were fighting for something, there is a recognition, a reward, and a celebration of the outcome of this, of your newfound persona, identity, voice, whatever it is. There's a kind of acknowledgement from up there. Because I can see they're all smiling. They're all like... it's interesting. It's like you're finally understanding how to be you without being sorry for it, is what I want to say. You're just kind of like, no, I'm me. So what's your problem? You know, it's that kind of energy. Got the 4 of Cups in the reverse. I feel like you probably hit against a bit of a boredom or a discontent within your own circumstances. Like, everything that once resonated didn't. Everything that it was just really hard to, understand. But I feel like you're slowly coming out of that, and you're starting to understand what does resonate and what does make you feel good. These are the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see what else they want to share. Crown chakra. Wow, this is like you're in alignment. That's why they're asking you to ground yourself. I'll be honest with you, this was exactly what I was experiencing right at the beginning. We've got crown chakra and base chakra. I felt like I was a balloon that had been released. I'm not gonna lie. I would be writing everything down at this point with these 2 cards, because I feel like you guys are going to get the intuitives amongst you are going to be getting some crazy insight. Something about don't give it up. If you've got a passion or something that you are being told to give up, that in your heart of hearts isn't right to be given up, don't give it up. Whatever you do, don't give it up, or don't give up either. Obviously both, you know, ideally don't give up. They're saying especially don't give up. There's something about your striving for you and success that in this month is causing you to give up, or almost causing you to give up on something. Now, if you're sat there thinking, well, this is not me at all, then skip over this part of the reading. Not everything is going to resonate with absolutely everyone, because it's a general reading. Ideally it will, but obviously not every single Sagittarian placement is going to be the same. So trying to follow this energy right here, because there's definitely something out there. I can see there's all these. I mean, look, I'll be really honest with you, just expect very interesting dreams the month of February. See, look, that, I'll be honest with you, that's very much sucking me in the middle of that. It's like a portal. This is essentially a portal. How you're viewing what your earth life is and what your expectations of your earth life is in this month is not going to be the same toward the end of February. This is a very, already I can see this is a very galactic reading that I'm looking into. So you guys are dealing with some very intense energies. It's like you're totally upgrading. Like I'm just seeing you upgrading. I mean, it's very Aquarius energy, very, very Aquarius energy, but it's like for you, now obviously depending on where your Sagittarius is, it's going to hit in that chart. So if it's your ascendant, then you're probably going to appear or look different, okay? If it's your moon, your emotions are going to be looking sort of different. So depending on where your Sagittarius is, this is where the shift is, okay? Yeah, you're upgrading. You're going through an upgrade. There's no two ways of saying it. You're going through an upgrade. The waiting game, 2 of Wands. Can you see here, you've got man-made time in the middle of like almost like a quantum energy field. You are, and no wonder I was sat zoning out every 3 minutes earlier. It was like this was the energy I was linking in with. It's like up there they don't have time. We measure time here. Time is a man-made construct. So coming from this reality to going up there and then coming back down again to kind of give the reading, I was like, what's going on? And 100% the date answer was me in that energy, going up to the galactic center, getting the information, then coming back down. This is what you're going to be doing in your dream state. Now you might sit there and be like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm scared. Then just pretend I didn't say it and click on another video. Like, what do you want me to say? I'm joking. This is an upgrade. Think about it. You have had 1 million in your life before. Just because I'm telling you about it doesn't mean to say this is scary. You've had probably 1 million that you weren't aware of. Me, I'm just telling you about another one. That's the difference, you know. I'm giving you a heads up that there's another one. So, you know, if you don't like any of that idea, then number one, I don't really know why you're watching me, because like you're gonna have 1 million upgrades. This month you're going for 1 million upgrades, and you put it this way, if you are in a position where you're being forced to make a decision, don't make any decisions. That sounds ludicrous, but it's the best way I can say it, because you're not armed with all the information at this present second that you're watching this. You need to complete the whole of February. Now, unless you're watching this video in 1 minute to midnight on, you know, the 29th, because don't forget we're in a leap year. Don't forget, this is something about this. There's definitely something about you guys in a leap year. All right. Then obviously you can sit and say, okay, you've experienced it to its full. But it's like every time you think you have observed what is needing to be observed this month, it shifts. All right. And there's something about your energy that you're going to need to wait and resolve and sort of follow that energy to the end of. Now, because obviously it's very difficult to try and explain energy up there in here, in this paradigm, in this physical reality. It's extremely difficult. But this is essentially the cards, you know, showing the best way to explain it. It's like a tangible 3-dimensional object being placed in the middle of a quantum energy field that has no beginning, middle, or end. All right. And the reason for that is because you are that. I mean, you're the middle timepiece. You're the physical, tangible object that's energetically being placed in the center of the universe. The galactic center. So you're absorbing all that is in that center, ready to expel. So as within, so without. As above, so below. You know, your physical reality, your physical tangible reality that you're going to be seeing is going to be an expression of what you're going to be learning in sleep. You're essentially downloading in your sleep certain ideals ready to give to the collective. So make sure you're paying attention to your dreams. Now, it's not just going to be in your sleeping state, it's also going to be day to day, where you're probably going to do what I did, and we'll just sit there and zone out for 5 minutes. And then by the time you come to, you're like, I now know the cure for cancer. I'm joking. That's not funny really, because I was kind of serious, but it's like you're shifting, your kind of awareness is shifting into a certain reality, and then you're gaining certain bits of information, and then you're coming back. Hence the Mars conjunct the galactic center in your sign. Now, is everyone going to sit and have to go through this? No, because not everyone is going to be attuned to that. But if you're attuned in this way and you're sat there going, that's really weird because already I'm getting that, or yes, that sounds like something I would be doing, then this is for you. If you've never meditated, or you're very much in the beginning parts of your spiritual journey, then I would say maybe it's for you. But this is the message for people that I feel is going to sit there and be watching this saying, yeah, this makes sense. So once you've gained the information, it's to impart on at ground level here. Okay, so if you're at the end of the month making changes and you're thinking it's really weird, and even people are sat there going, that's really weird that you're making that decision, that doesn't feel like it would be you, but you're sat there saying, no, it's me, and I'm very aware of what I'm doing, it's because of these upgrades. It's like your kind of higher self has channeled in certain upgrades and or downloads that were needed at this time for you and your consciousness. So one sec, let me just grab a drink. I was really needing that water there, apologies. So if you're a light worker, be very aware of information you're getting, because you're probably going to be getting mission insight, soul mission work. If you're a healer, especially if you're a healer, it's like tribes are reuniting, and I think from the downloads that you're going to be getting, it's like the missing pieces of the jigsaw are starting to come into play, and then because of that insight, that was the missing vibration of what you need to attract like-minded souls. It's like soul tribes are coming into contact. So pay attention to any new people that you're meeting this month, because I feel like a lot of them will be soul tribe, soul group. All right. I'm trying to get a bit more insight into the downloads that you're going to get, but I feel like I need to stare at these cards for a few more minutes, because it's like the energy's right in the middle of them. These are the innovators, it's like the people that have the visions are going to be, if this is you, you're going to wake up and you're going to be sort of like, yeah, I know what I need to do. And I know how I'm going to do it, and I know how it's going to contribute, and this is what I'm going to do to begin that process. But you're definitely going to have that, because now I don't know, maybe it's worth me putting these up for a couple of seconds for you to sort of look into the center of them, but this is the information that I'm getting from tuning into this energy. I'm also hearing light language. So if you're, again, light tribes, anything light worker, light language, anything of that nature is being upgraded. And it's like, I'm seeing something being removed for you to understand what all this was about. It's like ability. It's like actually the big reveal, you know? It's like the big reveal. This was why you had to go through this part, because actually your gift is this, and it was to get you to that point. But so it's like light language, like there's a gift ability that you're gaining from these changes, you know. You could have experienced loss recently through a sword. You could have had a heck of a lot of loss. It's like your heart had been broken over and over and over again, and that was what allowed the light to sink, to sort of slowly get in, which then slowly allowed the sort of the rest of you to fill up with light, which is why these upgrades have come, because it's like this is what's being released. It's like that you're purging, you know. It's like you're kind of shedding skin, essentially. This is being shed, and then the upgrade is happening. And you've also got the Seven of Swords, which is, it can be people wearing false masks. It can also be deception. Either you're deceiving yourself or other people have been, but it can be people that aren't legitimate or showing their true selves around you. Now, don't forget what I said at the beginning, where I said about how I gave that as a helicopter thing. Like, yeah, you know, I'll have a helicopter ride. My guide was like, delusional. Not that I don't deserve that or anything, you know, I'm putting myself down, but I mean, that was a bit of a joke, the way I sort of did that. But to be honest, it served a purpose. They wanted me to give that as an example though, because it was a little bit delusional, but there was a method behind the madness, which I did actually weed all this guy out, because he was married. So it worked. But, and obviously I said no, hell no. I found out afterwards, by the way, just in case you're sat there thinking that's so bad that you've done that. Oh no, I wanted to test the water to see if this guy was going to follow through, and then I could sit there and go, hell no, bye, shut the door. So we've got Three of Swords with the Seven of Swords. So this can add up, if you're looking at it logically, to Ten of Swords. So there's a closure here, all right? So there's something closing and a release of something new, all right? So pay attention for what that is. Now, you could have already gone through this closure. Maybe you've already gone through it. Maybe you're going through this. But what they're saying is this is at the end, okay? So the recognition and reward is for the closure of the cycle, the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords can be about being backstabbed, but it's also an emotional ending of something, a closure, all right? So just pay attention. If you've got any scenarios like this around you, obviously use discernment, but trust your own instincts. Spirit are saying they want you to release that if you haven't already done so. But that story I gave about the helicopter was definitely for someone, and there was a reason I gave that. There's usually layers of information I give, so it wasn't just me rattling off a random story. Seven of Cups, choose wisely. So there's options here, all right? Usually the options are harder choices and or something that you shouldn't really have to choose. But with this Seven of Swords and Three of Swords, I would be shutting the door on even choosing something like that. I wouldn't even be bringing that into, you know, a necessary choice personally. But just be aware that there's a choice coming up here, and it involves your development, and it involves, if you were to kind of stand your ground and identify where your security needs are, then there's an upgrade that will come. Now, is it as extreme as what I've mentioned? Yeah, it could be, but it doesn't have to be. Everyone is different, so but there's still a reward coming, all right, for acknowledging what you're owed or what you deserve, all right? So don't forget recognition and reward. You're given what you feel you're worth. Don't forget that. And if I hear one more comment, people screaming at me in the comments going, I don't deserve any of this. Did I say you did? You know? Two of Swords on the bottom of the deck, mental conflict. Not seeing things for what they are, all right? Close the door. New beginnings, Empress, Divine Feminine, honouring that part of you, honouring you as a Divine Feminine for all your glory. Your head and heart in alignment, rather than fighting each other, okay? For you, honouring you. Okay, and then we've got the Hierophant. Okay, this is wisdom. This can also be about control and or traditional archetypes, let's say. And the Fool. Okay, so don't forget, if you are in this situation, or even if you're not in this situation, but you do have someone that is a little bit controlling around you, then the advice is to honour the self, new beginnings. All right, take the leap of faith. You don't need to deal with that. All right. If you're not in a situation where someone around you is potentially controlling you and or a little bit naughty, a little bit overbearing, little bit unbalanced partnership, and you know that you're starting to think you want to break away, then do. And if you're not in that energy and this is not relating to you, then this is about discerning for yourself what is for the good of you and your own development, your own lessons. But don't forget, there's something you're going to have to release in order to utilize that channel that's of information you're going to be getting this month. All right, because you're getting huge upgrades, and it's going to lead to a new beginning. This is like, for me, I love this card now, because especially the illustration, because she's stepping out through a door, a portal. And in fact, it's a little bit like the energy I was in earlier when I first tuned into you guys. Except I was floating up, you know. But this is just a brand new start. This is a 0 point. Where anything that you choose to do after this is, I mean, this is essentially what I was saying at the beginning, where you're understanding where you've been to then resolve the present and fearlessly move forward into a brand new future, which is taking a leap of faith and not being, you know, being unapologetically you, essentially. Okay, let's pull some outcomes now. I'm going to pull the Archangel Oracle deck for outcomes. Sagittarius, outcome February 2020. Sagittarius, outcomes February 2020. What is the outcome for Sagittarius, please, Spirit, for the month of February? Career transition. Archangel Chamuel, your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So this is really, I mean, this is exactly what I've been saying. Your soul work, soul mission, this is going to really be very apparent. I think you're going to end up probably even turning around thinking, right, well, I'm going to change my job because this is not suiting me. And it says, you know what to do. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. There you go. Okay, guys, so hopefully that's been of some help. That's your Sagittarius reading for the month of February 2020. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. All your likes, shares and subscriptions. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful month. Take good care. Until next time. Bye.